Hello everyone, today is Friday, April 22nd, and this is your USA Gold Weekly Review and Outlook. It was a pretty volatile week in the metals markets, kind of up and down, although for silver, high-O silver is off and running up over $2 in the last 2 weeks, basically $1 a week. Started about 2 weeks ago at about $15, even traded as high as $17.70 this week. It has come off those highs, currently trading around $17. Gold had kind of a similar week. It charged above that important 1260 level, reached about 1270, but then did come back off of that and currently trading just below 1240. But silver is really where we want to focus on today. I mean, pretty extraordinary what's happening in that market, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah, and largely investment driven. Good demand here in the United States, but we're also hearing evidence of very strong investment demand in Asia.
Yeah, and I've heard hedge funds jumping on board. Everybody wants a piece of this thing, and for anybody who's been watching our videos since we started them earlier this year, back in January we had covered silver and covered the silver-gold ratio, and found that the 80+ level that the ratio was at was way out of whack, and that silver was definitely due for some of this, catching up to gold, so to speak, and whoa, what silver does when it gets going.
Yeah, catching up in a big way. The ratio is all the way down to 72.5-ish right now. It's been even a little bit lower than that, kind of flirted with the 70 level. So definitely playing catch up at this point.
And it's worth noting though too that ratio over the last 10 years or so has actually averaged closer to 60 to 1. So even as it stands, silver potentially has a lot of room to even catch up more. And if you look at what it did in 2011 when it spiked to close to $50, the ratio got all the way down to 36 to 1. So when silver goes, it can go, and we're starting to see that for sure. But it's actually the broader implication of what silver and the price action of silver means, in terms of the dollar. I think we've seen a lot of analysts coming out and relating silver's performance more to dollar weakness, and I think that's pretty intriguing.
Right. So the dollar. If you look at the dollar index, and we'll put the chart up, but it's looking kind of toppy at this point. Traded above 100 on 2 different occasions, leaving kind of a nice little double top, potential double top. It'll need to fall a little bit further for confirmation on that. But if the dollar does fall more dramatically, I think that it could be really a good omen for both silver and gold.
Well, sure. And I mean, looking back, we've been covering this, in our other video series, our roundtables back in 2014 and 15, when we talked about how, though the dollar was, experiencing this pretty remarkable rally, it rallied about 25%, that gold, while it did fall, it wasn't falling as much as the dollar, not even actually close.
About 15%.
Yeah, 15. But silver's fall was closer to that of the dollar's rise. It was more of
a little bit more, 27% approximately in that range from kind of mid-2014 until the metal sort of bottomed out in December of last year. But silver has a much higher beta to begin with, so that's not terribly surprising.
And we were really highlighting that because we thought it was interesting that gold wasn't falling as much as the dollar. We thought that was largely attributed to gold being treated as a currency in general, not just one tied to the dollar, and that if all currencies are weakening, gold's value is going to be more robust as compared to all currencies. So you could have the dollar have this huge rally and gold not necessarily go down as much as the dollar. But what's interesting is here the dollar has started to fall this year, down about 5%, but gold is up, 15 basically.
About 16.
Yeah, 16.
Silver is up around 18.
18 to 20. So now you do have a reversal in the dollar, but now you have both metals significantly outpacing that reversal. And so it is intriguing. It is interesting. It is something that is a change of sorts. And if, like you said, if the dollar is headed for more of a decline now, if that is what we are on the cusp of, I mean, that does bode well for both metals. And I think silver doing what it's doing, may even be a further confirmation of that very fact.
Yeah, I think that things could really get off to the races. I think there's sort of a natural attraction in silver to the $20 level. It's kind of psychologically significant. So with a little bit of upside follow through and a couple more technical levels breached, I think $20 would be in play.
And $20 silver is a very interesting inflection point for those of you who were following the market back in 2010 and 11. You'll know that it took a long time to cross 20 bucks. It sidewound through the high teens for a while, and then once it did, Holy Toledo. I mean, we had $4 and $5 up days on its way up to 50. It was extraordinary what took place in the silver market. So we'll see. You know, if we're on the cusp of something like that again, it could be really entertaining. I think what's also interesting, what we've seen even this week, is silver, you know, on a number of days has been up 20, 30, 40 cents, and gold hasn't been doing much at all. But what you're seeing is silver kind of holding gold up a little bit. And for the whole market, if these two metals can act in greater tango, you know, have a better tango, that they could very much pull each other on any given day. And it bodes well for both of them. The fact that silver was lagging gold so much wasn't a concern per se, but to see them more moving in tandem, I think would be the way to put it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, and we've definitely seen examples of that this week and last week as well. So we'll see if that continues.
Yeah, we will indeed. Which leads us to our golden gongs, which we think are you know, kind of a nice testament to what we are saying today. So the first comes from Richard Falkenhall, who's a currency strategist at SEB, which is a Swedish brokerage firm. He says, "We don't really see any positive driver for the dollar right now. It's really hard to come up with a story where you could expect the dollar to recover." And that's paired with a quote from Christopher Vecchio, who's a currency analyst at Daily FX, who is quoted as saying, "Silver prices have started to outpace gold prices, which if it continues would be historically good for precious metals and foreboding for the US dollar." So with that, we pass out a double golden gong today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jonathan Casares.
I'm Peter Grant.
See you next week.